Back to other things, and certainly one thing that you seem to appear to have jumped on very late in the day was the climate emergency. One week there wasn't one, then there was one.
Yeah, well, I was disappointed with the way that had been handled by a young reporter.
Well, he's allowed to ask questions.
Well, but it's the way he, there was a spin there. I had some young students in from Ramsey Grammar School over the refillable water bottles, and that was what we did the interview about. And he said, "Are you going to declare a climate change?" And I said, "No, I'm out for consultation. We as a government have gone out to the public to get their views, feedback, and then we will make an announcement." And that's all I said. I didn't say, "No, I'm not going to do it." All I said was, we've been out to the public. We've got a week of, and we'll have all the answers back, and then I'll declare. And that's what I did. I waited.
So you think it was badly reported or misreported?
Well, it was. Well, you may well think that I couldn't possibly comment, sort of thing. What I feel is that they're looking for a story, and my words were used. I hadn't said I didn't believe in a climate change or anything like that. I just said, we're out for consultation with the public. Let's wait for the feedback. And a week later, we went and declared.
Because you had to wait for all this consultation to come back.
Well, no, there was two ways of doing it. You could either declare a climate change emergency, which other jurisdictions have done without discussing it with the public. This administration is about going out there, getting feedback, data, and then dealing with it. And if you've gone out to the public and said, "Can I have your feedback and your views?" and then just before you've done that, you then declare something when you haven't collated what the public have said, then to me that's disrespectful to the people of the island when you've asked for their view.
Do you think your government is in the right track?
Yeah.
You're 3 years in now. Are you actually getting anywhere with anything of sizable note? Let's park Brexit, obviously, those sort of things. Do you feel
absolutely.
There will be things that you can say we have achieved?
Absolutely. Things? We've balanced it. For the first time in 10 years, we've put money back into the reserves. Let's not forget there was 100 plus million coming out of our reserves 10 years ago, Paul. We've put money back in this year. We've started the population, 1,075 extra people in the last 12. That's not me. That's those
policies, though. Quayle administration policies.
Well, I was sitting here having an interview with you a year or so ago when I was getting criticised for changes to the work permit rules. Now, since we've done those changes, business confidence has doubled in the work permit system, where now if you want a work permit, you will get one for 5 years, which enables you to get a mortgage, because if you've only got a work permit for 1 or 2 years, the bank can say, well, you could have your work permit revoked in 2 years' time. You're not going to, can I give you a mortgage? Your partner wasn't entitled to one automatically. So you might get offered a job, but if your partner can't get a job, why are you going to move over here? So, and we turn it around within 24 hours, 90-odd%. That I was heavily criticised for by some in the community. Others wanted me to just do away with the work permits. We went down this route. Now we've got a 100% increase.
You consulted, didn't you? That's what you're saying. All you're doing is consulting people. They do whatever they say.
Well, no, there was two sides to the coin. One didn't want to touch it, and we did what we did, and it has significantly improved the growth in the population, the skilled workforce, which is what we're wanting. Because if we don't fill those jobs will will disappear to other jurisdictions where they can get the people to fill the roles.
In all those surveys you do, there's still disquiet, isn't there? We don't think we're having that happy a time, although other people say we are.
You compare it with the UK service, and we're not doing that badly, but at least we're asking. It wasn't being done before. So we're being open and honest about it. We've got the economy. Touch wood, and okay, Brexit could derail it, so we can't be complacent, but the economy is doing very well. When you look at Jersey and Guernsey, who have really struggled in this last couple of years, they've seen a reduction in their income. We've seen growth. We've seen growth in population.
Okay.
We've dealt with our international. We're not on any blacklist. We've come through Moneyval. We've sorted out substance, beneficial ownership, which was massive. Beneficial ownership has taken 6 months of my life and had the potential to be the biggest constitutional crisis this island has ever known. It's been put to bed quietly. The jobs are safe in the finance sector that it would have affected, and we move on. And
you tied up with Jersey and Guernsey, of course.
Yeah, we worked with Jersey and Guernsey on that.
That was important, was it? So
yeah, you want to make sure that as a crown dependencies you move together where possible.
What's it like in this room? We touch on this quite often, but 3 years in, there's got to be some more friction than there was
no,
at the
there
beginning?
isn't. No, it's a good team.
I mean, you got rid of Kate Bigcroft this time last year.
Yeah, well, over a year.
Over a year, but you were talking about last year. Yeah, but
we talked about it last year. Yeah, I don't want to dwell on that. These things happen.
Okay.
But we have a genuinely hard-working team. Yeah, there's always going to be areas where someone's not happy with the way a minister has done it, but on the whole, it's a good team, and as a result, we're getting through stuff.
And yes, again, it sounds like a broken record. Some change, new faces. Time to move it along a bit now, isn't it?
If you've got a team that's working well and it's delivering. Yeah, I should imagine at some stage before the 5-year term is up, you'll see the odd new face in here.
I put it to you that you don't want to sack anybody who will then become difficult. You'd rather someone come to you and say, I'm not going to stand next time as an MHK. Oh, fine. Well, then we can park you now and bring somebody in. Is that what you're waiting for? Some notice that
you've just contradicted yourself, because you mentioned Mrs. Beecroft, who I did, because it clearly wasn't working, and then you said, I'm not going to do it because I'm going to have someone on the back, and you can't say she's not been happy with what I've done.
You gave many reasons why that one was quite separate to what I'm talking about now, is that you got a good team, you're saying, but surely you don't want to upset anybody, therefore you don't want to fire them as such.
Well, why would you if you're doing a good job in your job, and for Manx.net, MTV, why would the owners want to sack you just because you've been in the job for 3 years? Surely, if you're doing a good job.
But what I'm trying to say is you need to bring people on, don't you? You got brought on. I mean,
I got brought on when it was felt that the time was to get a couple. I think,
and that must have helped you immensely.
Yeah, well, I got brought on into health and social care. Well, I'm not saying... Yes, I would be very surprised if in the next year or so we don't have a couple of new faces sitting around this cabinet.
Would you get rid of them, or would they just step down? That's my real crux of the question there. Try that one.
I'm not going to sack someone just because they've been 3 years on the job.
Okay.
Unless, if they're, So
technically you might not see anyone change.
Technically, yeah. But I should imagine that, we will make changes towards the end, because you're quite right. I would like to give the chance of one or two of the backbenchers who I think will be wanting to stand again. You can't be sure that they'll get re-elected. The chance to come in, get a bit of ministerial experience, so that the next Council of Ministers, you're going to have some retire, some may lose their seat. And you need to have... I think when I came back this time, there was only Minister Skelly who had been a minister, and Minister Crageen for a short time with Alan Bell's administration. So I'd like to see at least 4 or 5 ministers back in, and therefore if you've shared out the ministerial experience to some of the newer members, and let's be blunt, there are some very good backbenchers who are more than capable of sitting round here. I don't deny that at all, and I'm lucky in that.
Let's wrap this up. First of all, are you restanding? Is it too early to say yet for you?
It's too early. I think sort of April 21.
Okay. Secondly, how do you score yourself out of 10 this year, yourself?
I would give myself maybe half a point more than I gave myself last year.
Couldn't pin you down, I remember, I think, last year.
Yeah, well, I think...
So, are we going 8?
I have probably had my best year because of the off-island work, which you haven't seen.
And you say we won't see. It's something that's just done.
Well, if we have fixed it, but there were thousands of jobs.
Could you bore me some other time with it, maybe? I mean, do you think we don't want to know, or just do you think we can't be told, or you don't want to tell us?
The vast majority of people are interested in having a job, the local problems.
The promenade.
And the new terminal in Liverpool that we're working on, that'll be coming on stream March 21. Do they want to listen to Howard rabbiting on about beneficial ownership, public-private, the 5th Money Laundering Directive, and the review of the European Union in January 22, and that we're going to move after that 12 months legislation?
I'm always talk to you about that another time.
But whilst this is stuff that people aren't bothered about listening, there was thousands of jobs at stake directly, and then those jobs, people in that work are going into shops, they're buying petrol, they're getting a garden, they're getting extension to their house, they're getting the house redecorated. The trickle-down effect from those job losses would have been significant, but it's not sort of...
Okay, so you give yourself an 8? Am I locking you in at 8?
I don't. I refused last time.
You kind of wobbled around more than 7.
At the end of the day, I've given it my best shot, Paul.
I know,
and that's all you can do.
Okay, how's the Quayle administration? I mean, I don't even know if that really is fair. But, can you rate yourself as a government?
Well, I'm pleased with the Council of Ministers, and I'm pleased with Tynwald members on the whole. I think, on the whole, first and foremost, you do want good scrutiny. I think I would hopefully say that if people said, what's one of Howard's strengths, is that I'm not too proud to say that if you came to me with a better idea as a backbencher than the Council of Ministers have come up with.
Some backbenchers might disagree. You've got some great pictures of you and Mrs. Kane, locking horns.
No, I'm saying if they have a better idea.
Oh, so you think, okay.
Yeah. So if a backbencher comes along with an improvement to something that we're proposing, then we in here are more than happy to accept that, and we don't see that as a sign of weakness. We see that as a strength, that we've got nothing to prove, because at the end of the day all we want to do is make things better for the people of the island.
If I can't get a number out of you, what would you say, like in a report card? Would you go, could do better, or doing well?
Well, you can always do better, can't you?
Right. So
I think we're doing well, but you can always do better. Can't be complacent.